Hello and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. We heard some terrible news late last night as well. As a result of the SEC's lack of leadership in regulating the Bitcoin business, it appears that Coinbase may sue the agency. In this video, I'll examine that case and explain how it could impact the current rippling SEC litigation. In fact, I think there are a few things in this paper that should be looked at to see how they might affect the SEC case as a whole. And virtually no one talks about it. In addition, I'd want to explain why the fact that Judge Horace is taking so long to rule on summary judgment should potentially be considered positive news. Actually, Turner just sent us a whole new tweet. You won't want to miss Fred's explanation of why he thinks it's actually a positive indicator. Lastly, before we wrap up, I want to share some breaking news about the future of this industry. In reality, we may be able to avert a deep recession in the United States thanks to a recent, highly promising sign. If you want to see that, you'll have to watch the whole video. I just wanted to briefly mention something fantastic that's about to occur on the XRP ledger. This AMM is an important step forward for the decentralized exchange because it means the XRP DAX may now incorporate automated market making. It's obvious that this is quite thrilling. When compared to other planned XRPL features introduced over the past decade, this one has me the most ecstatic. Not only do I think David Schwartz tweeted this out earlier today, but so does everyone else I've talked to about it. The fact that XRP, which is currently only liquidity on the XRP ledger, will soon have a wide variety of new applications is the primary reason this thrills me so much. In order to make all assets issued on the XRP network liquid, XRP must be used. In addition, XRP transactions are processed instantly. The fact that it also has security uses is not lost on me. However, with this, you and I will be able to use our XRP on the network to accomplish things like participate in single-sided liquidity pools, which will earn us rewards for our XRP. And we'll be able to lend it out decentralized, just sitting in a wallet, so the network will have more liquidity than just XRP. It's vital to keep in mind that this isn't a whole picture. Furthermore, we do not know the dangers of lending some of these XRP liquidity pools. You can invest 1%, 2%, or even more of your XRP portfolio in this if you desire to take on greater risk, but remember that you are under no obligation to lend all of your XRP or place it all in a single liquidity pool. However, there is yet another way to make a profit with XRP. Seeing how this plays out should be fascinating. And I have no doubt that we will see some extremely fantastic stuff if David Schwartz is as enthusiastic about an amendment as he has been over the past decade. Finally, this is still being tested. One of the things I enjoy best, though, is that XRP was available for purchase prior to the implementation of this change. Let's say this automated market maker causes a major disruption, leading to significant improvements in the decentralized nature of the XRPL and the creation of whole new business models for use inside the network. Since you had held XRP before that happened, you are helping to expand this payment system. It's a fascinating proposal, indeed. This indicates that you not only gain from the value of new assets produced on the XRP ledger and new projects growing on the XRP ledger, but also from the potential for the XRP itself to improve over time. In my perspective, this is a perfect example of that. My next topic is the latest SEC case against Coinbase. Before delving into how it might impact the current SEC case, I'd like to define what it is and isn't. Because of this, Coinbase is only suing the SEC for failing to adequately respond to certain rulemaking processes. Coinbase has apparently been approaching the SEC for the past few years with a "Hey, what do you think of this rule proposal? Do you get it now? Can we trust this method to evaluate these markets?" The SEC's "sorry, we're not answering" that has left Coinbase in the dark about the legality of their actions. Right, somehow I recognize this. To prevent this market from developing in the United States, the SEC takes such measures. In essence, Coinbase is filing suit against the SEC on the grounds that the regulator is obligated to address these concerns. The SEC can then tell Coinbase, "Okay, no, we don't accept your rulemaking proposal," which is the most likely outcome. At the very least, the SEC would be responding if it were compelled to address Coinbase. If that's the case, they are theoretically acting lawfully. As a result, it's probable that we won't see any noteworthy outcomes from this plan of action. However, it also accomplishes something else that is crucial. The SEC's flagrant reluctance to fulfill its responsibilities shows the country, the government, and businesses that they are woefully unable to deal with Bitcoin. It also shows how murky the industry's regulatory climate is. If multiple corporations are compelled to sue the SEC, the situation has grown too large for rules to effectively address it. The rules are obviously vague. The last thing anyone wants is to get dragged into an SEC lawsuit. Coinbase's extreme measures are further evidence that the market is in disarray. So, how does this help the Ripple SEC lawsuit? As for me, to begin, Judge Torres will definitely understand that there is more at stake here than just the Ripple effect. If I ask the SEC why it's so hard to work with them when we have the two most genuine companies in the country and try to be as transparent as possible, she'll confirm what she already thinks she knows from watching the Ripple SEC case, that the SEC is acting absolutely irrationally and is actively trying to suppress this market. She has stated that the SEC is being disingenuous in this issue and is not zealously pursuing the matter as required by law. As a result, this will confirm her suspicions. However, this will put the SEC in an awkward position, which could make it harder for them to defend the present SEC case, and he only has so much money to spend. And as far as I can gather, there is congressional opposition to SEC growth. Furthermore, the SEC is suffering an unprecedented exodus of members. There are only so many issues that the SEC can deal with at once. It is evident that Coinbase offers both grayscale and older, standard situations. They will also be less inclined to invest money on a second round of litigation with the SEC. If things are not going well, they can only put so much resources into each case. And they knew full well how the SEC case had ended. Former SEC employees I've spoken with have all voiced disappointment with the agency's handling of this matter. Considering the newfound pressure, it's hard to imagine the SEC sticking with this investigation for very long. They would be better off moving on to new cases where they have a better chance of success. In a single day, I could think of 100 cases that the SEC would win. They could have settled out of court, but instead they chose to litigate the matter in the worst possible way. The conclusion is that, after losing the Ripple SEC case, I think the SEC will feel so compelled to drop it that they will have no choice but to do so. The conclusion is that, despite the fact that I don't believe this Coinbase scenario will have any noticeable effects, I still believe it will be beneficial to the market as a whole. To conclude up this video, I'd want to mention two interesting points. Based on his prior experience and the length of time it is taking Judge Torres to issue a ruling, one lawyer, Fred, recently tweeted that he was more certain than ever that Ripple would prevail in the Ripple SEC case. That's because the SEC's approach to the case against Ripple makes it likely that Judge Torres will rule in favor of the SEC without offering much in the way of rationale. To properly counter what the SEC has said, however, will take a great deal more time and thought on her part. Because of how long it has taken for Judge Torres to reach a decision in this lawsuit, Attorney Fred is now more confident than ever that we will win a favorable verdict for Ripple. At this time, it is not possible to say whether or not this course of action will be taken. Nonetheless, I do think it is at least a helpful strategy to think about how long it is taking her to make up her mind. Maybe perhaps within the next week or two we will hear anything. Most experts, at least, had expected that we'd see something around that time. Both John D. and I agree that it would surprise him if the case lasted until May, he said. However, in this case, it took a lot longer than expected for everything to finish. At the very least, we require a judgment on secondary sales from Judge Torres. Thus, summary judgment can settle the primary issues and prevent a trial, but that topic is better suited for another movie. Okay, let's keep on and wrap this up. And we picked up some fascinating economic information today. Many people, especially in the crypto community's Twitter, have been predicting this massive downturn for some time now. Hyperinflation has also been predicted by them. However, these projections are not supported by the data. The numbers point to a trend of falling inflation. Businesses have persisted despite the fact that rates have reached an all-time high. Revenue streams are currently robust. No one could have foreseen this happening. If wage growth and inflation both continue to trend downward, a soft landing is not far off. The banking industry is experiencing significant difficulties. As a result, some tensions are building. However, with the current situation of the economy, people may feel the effects of a recession very differently than they did in the past. Banks may be having a rough time right now, but the software and cybersecurity industries are booming. If the current trend of strong profits, declining inflation, and rising interest rates holds, we must take notice. The market we're about to enter is extremely positive. The cryptocurrency market started reacting positively as soon as the earnings were published. I really hope this update was entertaining, though, guys. Your being here means a lot to me. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. See you later, bye.